You had submitted a song for me to review like right from the very beginning. I think yours was one of the first ones that I ever did a review before I was like, hey, I'm going to make this into a live show. And so we kind of connected over TikTok, and now you're the second person that kind of came in through Devin Song Reviews and now being featured as the musician spotlight on my show, which is really
Yeah.
cool. Take a couple minutes and just introduce yourself to anybody that is watching now or watching this on the replay later. Just take a minute and introduce yourself.
My name is Shane, actually, but I go by Mason Crow on Spotify, TikTok, etc. And I started TikTok, like that's where my main audience following whatever lies is for, because my skits, I post like skit comedy mostly. I've been into music for like my whole life. Like I've been writing songs since like third grade, and now I'm finally starting to actually get some really good ones and produce and release them.
You just released a new song, I guess, a few weeks ago. The song is called Insult to Injury. So I've checked it out. Really like the song. Though I've done a review of two of your other songs, Bored and then Misunderstood. Listening to this one, I was like, oh, this is kind of different from those other two that
Yeah.
I've heard from you. Being that it's different from your other release songs, how was your inspiration for this song different than the ones before?
So the first thing that makes this one a little different is the first three were like my ideas for the backing track, but my brother made the backing tracks for the first three songs I released with just like my support. This one I actually like got on Logic and made the whole thing, so it's a little more original to me. And in doing that, I also made it more like upbeat. I mean, it's like a little bit of a darker tone, but I think it's more like headbangy kind of thing, like something you can really have fun with. Where my other music is more like interesting and like interpersonal. This one's more just like, you know.
You have a very unique style, I think. Even when I was making my Devin Song Reviews playlist, I was like, where does this one go? Like, I really had to think about like, what is this and where does it need to go? So like the new one was a little bit easier to figure out that sort of stuff. But I really enjoyed it, and I think you're right on. Like it's different, but the style, it makes me feel like more into it, I guess, rather than just, you know, these are cool lyrics and that was fun. But this one's really interesting to me. You're kind of hard to place in a playlist with other genres.
Right.
So I feel like you are very unique in that sense. So just to get a better idea of where that uniqueness comes from, who do you consider to be your biggest influences as a musician?
I don't know that there's like a number one influence, but the genre I've been kind of going for lately is like the Living Tombstone, JT music type of stuff with like Corpse Husband style beat. Like I really like the heavy on the low end part. Then I also make a bunch of acoustic songs, which are more like Cave Town, I'd say, is like what I kind of go for with my acoustic songs. Yeah, it's kind of all over the place. My music taste, it varies a lot. Like I have a bunch of metal that I listen to, EDM, it pretty much anything except country and opera, like I will listen to.
Was it Spotify said that like people who like you also like Bo Burnham? Is that right?
It
Or was
was
that a skit?
no, that was real.
Okay.
It was very unexpected because I've never like thought of my music as being like Bo Burnham's, but it came up Mason Crow Radio or Insult to Injury Radio. I think the playlist Spotify made based on Insult to Injury. 4 songs on there were by Bo Burnham, so I guess we have something in common. I don't really know what.
Do you see that as a good thing or a bad thing for you?
I see it as a good thing because a lot of people, especially my generation, really like Bo Burnham. So if they like him, they might like me too.
We all have our own styles of songwriting, and everybody seems to do it a little bit differently. So I'm always curious, like, what does your songwriting process look like?
So I have a couple different ways that songs come to me. Like I'd say the 2 main ways are that I will either just like have a chorus just appear out of nowhere in my mind and I'll just work with it. If there's like a certain genre I want to experiment with, or if I want to try like if there's a certain word or term like insult to injury that comes to my mind, I will just like sometimes I'll get really into it and just sit down with my guitar or Logic and make a whole thing out of it.
Are you coming up with melodies in your head? Or are you coming up with lyrics and you're just going and writing those down? Or are you coming up with guitar riffs? Like, what are you doing as far as that process goes? Like, are you coming up with stuff and just writing it down and revisiting it later? Or you just sit down and like, we're going to hash this out right now?
A lot of the times I will like try to write a full song in one sitting, and it doesn't take too long if I want, like, if I really care about the lyrics and want to make it a lyric-based song, like Bored and Misunderstood, it will take a lot longer because I have to, like, I really try to get the words to, like, sync together in cool ways. I like to make my lyrics sound really cool if it's a lyric-based song. My biggest weakness, I'd say, is the second verse. Like, I will write a chorus and a first verse, and I'll be like, that's great, and then I will completely forget about the second verse for like weeks.
When you're talking about your lyrics, like they're very rhythmic, almost like hip hop or like, you know, rap style in a way. Like your lyrics, I can tell you put a lot of effort into making them like rhythmic with the rest of the song, and you do a great job of that. You're a funny guy. Like your skits are hilarious, and you do a lot of that. How does Shane the comedian, or Mason Crow the comedian, compared to Shane / Mason Crow the musician?
They're both just pretty much two of my hobbies. Shane / Mason, the skit comedian, is probably the more lighthearted of the two. Both of them are similar in the way that I will have an idea and I'll be like, I want to share this with the world. That'll either be, I want to share this tune or this funny idea that I hope will go viral. I really don't post anything serious on TikTok. My music, I also try to keep somewhat light, even if the lyrics are a little heavy if you think about them.
There's a line between the comedian and the music, and it may not be like a hard and fast, like bold line, but there's definitely a difference between the skits you're doing on TikTok and the music you're making. I can tell there's still a little bit of humor in your personality in your music. It's a different part of who you are, I'm sure. I didn't know that your name was Shane. Where does Mason Crow come from?
The name Shane, it's cool, it's fine, I'm fine with it, but I was like, if I get the opportunity here to pick just any name, so I wanted to pick a name that like really makes me happy. So I went with Mason. Crow comes from my last name, Hawkins. I think it's cool that I have a bird in my last name, but I wanted to change that up too, so I switched from Hawk to Crow.
So another question that I ask every musician that comes on this show, the music that you're writing, for a lot of musicians, like this is a way to express something, or it's a way to, you know, be a form of therapy, whatever it is, your music is making a statement, whether you are aware of it or not. What statement do you want your music to make to the people that are listening to it?
It does depend on the song. Some of it doesn't really have any like deep meaning behind. I'm basing a lot of my songs these days off of completely fiction, just like none of it has anything to do with me, because I think that's more like fun and flexible and like you can take it however you want. But then some of my songs, like Bored and Misunderstood, and a couple of my new ones coming out soon, like Brain Dead and Paralyzed, they are like super specific, but at the same time I feel like they can relate to the masses, and there's so many lyrics that even if a couple don't resonate with you, you can still like pick and choose the ones that do. My main goal when people listen to my music, I just want them to like have a good time, think like this is a good song, but if it gets them in their feels, that's cool too.
You want people that listen to it to basically have fun with it. Yeah. You know, a lot of people don't know what their music, what the purpose of it is. So, you know, it may seem pretty simple, but knowing what statement you're making with your music is really something that that can take your music to the next level and make people appreciate it even more. You've mentioned a couple of times you're working on some new music. So what is on the horizon? What's next for you, for Mason Crow, the musician project here? You're working on new music, and what can we look forward to what you're doing in the future?
I have a song called Malice that should be dropping very soon. It's been a bit of a long project because it's my first song I'm releasing that actually has like electric guitar. It's a full-on rock song, so switching up the genres again. The guy who mixes and masters my music, he's been having some trouble getting it to sound just right, but I think we're like at the stage where it just needs to have the finished master, and it should be out later in May. And after that, I have a couple other kind of rock songs that I'm not like super intensely working on, but beyond that, my big plan is to release 2 EPs, one called Blood Moon and one called Honeymoon, where Blood Moon would be a mix of songs like Insult to Injury, Bored and Misunderstood. It would be very like electronic, kind of intense, fast-paced, and then Honeymoon would be like almost entirely acoustic, just like acoustic guitar and vocals. All I know for sure is Malice should be out in May. I don't have confirmation about that or anything else, but my hope is to get the EPs out before the end of summer, like August maybe, but we'll see how that goes. I was gonna do like an album, but I figured, first of all, people don't know me well enough to want to like listen to a full album of my music, and also since I have such distinct genres, it would be like very trippy to like put like a super heavy song right next to a super acoustic song.
Where can people find you? So as far as where can they listen to your music? Where can they find you on socials? If they want to link up with you, where do they do that?
My TikTok right here, Mason Crow Official. My backup, The Mason Crow, in case this account gets banned. My music is on all platforms at Mason Crow. And if you want to contact me, my Instagram is The Savage Pug. You can message me there, or you can email me at themasoncrow@gmail.com.
Did you say The Savage Pug?
Yes, it's been my username for like 7 years, so I'm just keeping it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap us up, and then I want to play your song "Insult to Injury" for everybody. But just again, take another minute, and if there's any sort of final statement or anything you want to share, you're welcome to do that.
I do want to say thank you for having me on here. I feel very professional with my fancy lighting and background. It's been a great opportunity. Please stream my music, everyone watching, and follow me.
You've hopped into some of these shows, and you've been a part of getting it to where it is now, and really appreciate you being another one that's seen value in what I'm trying to do, and come on here to promote yourself. So I really do appreciate that. I don't want that to be overlooked. That is, I can't do this by myself. So I really appreciate you being a part of this and taking some time out of your day with your beautiful lighting in the back. Everything looks good to me. So you did fine in my opinion. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and kick you off of here, and I'm going to play your song. We're going to wrap up the show for the day. But yeah, I will catch you on the flip side, man. Thanks for coming on. The song I'm about to play is called "Insult to Injury." This is his newest release for now. Sounds like another one's coming before the end of the month. But this one does sound a little bit different from the ones I heard before. So if you like what you heard there and you want to check this guy out, definitely do it. The TikTok is full of really funny skits. He's a funny guy, but it is, go check out the music as well, because there's more to him than just the comedy skits. So this is "Insult to Injury" by Mason Crow.
This is gonna be fun. They call me spineless, worthless, back out the fact they made a mess of my name. Call me a maniac, that was built for war. My open door could be a waste of space, then they spit in my face. You know the future's built on souls like ours. There's just no room in here for the cowards under the world. It's down on us for countless hours. In the end, we're the ones that we devoured. You know the
All right. Hope y'all enjoyed that. That is Mason Crow, who was just here doing the interview with his newest release, Insult to Injury. And we've got some more music coming soon, so more to look forward to. Like I said, that song is a little bit, the style is different from what I'd heard before. And I really, really like that vibe. Very, very cool all around, and a pretty good mix. And I don't know, like I really enjoyed that song a lot. I really just enjoy Mason Crow. But I just enjoy getting to know more musicians here in this small world of social media, and just love this community that we're building because of guys like that. So again, that's just one of those types of music that I probably wouldn't have heard if he hadn't have submitted it to me. And so I'm just trying to spread the love and give more of you an opportunity to hear that really cool music.